So we have with us today Raj Gopal ji, very senior Art of Living teacher. We will begin the session in a minute or two. There are a lot of people who have asked for the timings. They have asked for the login details, and there has been a lot which has gone in the background today from today morning, where people have been asking whether this Zoom call has what is the limit of the Zoom call? Can we also log in onto the YouTube and watch? So there's been so many queries and questions which have also come up. So we are really excited and looking forward for this session. This is only the part one session today with Shri Rajgopal ji. Rajgopal ji happens to be one of the most senior teacher and the first full-time teacher from Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh, from 1998, 97, 98, which is tremendous. You know, to have um, speak to a person who's a meditator itself is amazing. Imagine somebody who's not only a meditator, also has been sharing this wisdom with others, not only for a few years, but over 2 decades. And not only in one location, but traveling across Asia and different countries outside of India. This is going to be a phenomenal joyride for a devotee, for a seeker. Yeah, we really look forward for this session, and we don't want this session to end ever. But then there is a stipulated time, so we will do the part one today as much as we can. Rajgopal ji agreed to us, to do this session for all the seekers and for all the people looking forward for such a session. Yeah, so we are also live on YouTube. So if you find this Zoom ID full, you can also go on YouTube. You can start chatting there also. You can post your questions even on the YouTube channel, and this is going to be there on the YouTube also. So once again, I'd like to welcome Raj Gopal ji. Um, uh, Thank you so much, Raj Gopal ji, international teacher, faculty from the Art of Living Foundation, to have joined us. We are also presented with our state teachers coordinator Praveen ji, and so many other teachers from the Art of Living Foundation, and so many volunteers, participants, devotees, and people who are live with us on YouTube. We all welcome you for this amazing session. Yeah, Praveen ji, before we begin, would you want to share a few words?
ఎస్. సో జై గురుదేవ్ అందరికి. సో ఒకటే గురుగారి సంకల్పము 1% పాపులేషన్ రీచ్ అవ్వాలి. సో తెలంగాణలో 4 కోట్ల మంది ఉన్నారు. సో 1% అంటే 4 లక్షల మందికి మనము ఈ జ్ఞానాన్ని ఒక సంవత్సరంలోపు తీసుకెళ్ళాలి. సో దాంట్లో మొదటి మెట్టుగా సో ఈ 10,000 మందిని టార్గెట్ చేసి సో జ్ఞానోత్సవం అని ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాము. తప్పకుండా అందరం టీచర్స్, అందరూ వాలంటీర్స్ కలిసి సో దాన్ని రీచ్ అవుతాము. సో దాంట్లోనే రీసెంట్‌గా 2 డేస్ బ్యాక్ ఒక మీటింగ్ అయినప్పుడు అరవింద్ అన్న చెప్పారు. ఏం చెప్పారంటే ఎక్కడెక్కడి నుంచో టీచర్స్‌ని ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ కోసం పిలవడం కన్నా మన దగ్గరే చాలా అద్భుతమైన చాలా అనుభవం ఉన్న ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ స్పీకర్స్ ఉన్నారు. సో వాళ్ళతో చేస్తే ఎలా ఉంటుందన్నారు. సో ఇమ్మీడియేట్‌గానే సో ఇది స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. సో నేను కూడా వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నా. రాజగోపాల్ భయ్య అంత అనుభవము, చాలా ప్లేసెస్ తిరిగి, చాలా కంట్రీస్ కూడా తిరిగి సో నేను కూడా వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నా. సో లెట్స్ ఆల్ లిజన్ ఫ్రమ్ హిమ్. ఓకే.
Thank you so much, Praveen. Welcome again, Rajgopal ji. A lot of yeah. So without any further ado, please share your story of how you did the first, the Sudarshan Kriya.
Yeah. The first teacher from the then Andhra Pradesh is Padmini Unniji. I don't know how many of you know her, right? And she's also a very good family friend of mine. So way back in '96, actually, myself and my wife had gone there to her house to invite her for my sister-in-law's marriage. So when I went there, I was totally surprised because every room and the hall, that the cupboards, that display cupboards, everywhere Guruji's picture was there. Wherever I saw Guruji's picture. And whatever we speak should come round. Chuttu tirigi come down to Art of Living Guruji. Art of Living Guruji. So I was like little amused. See, I could understand that basically because I have a very spiritual upbringing. My parents were devotees of are, I shouldn't say where, because father is still there. My mother was there. They are devotees of Puttaparthi Satya Sai Baba. Yeah. So I was hardly some 8 years old or something. Since then, I've been introduced to this culture of bhajans, then chanting, prayers, japam, everything from that young age. And that is the kind of upbringing we have had, chanting slokas and all those things. And but then, yes, when my intellect had matured of its own, I slowly moved off from that shadow of Sai Baba. Somehow, I mean, like I couldn't connect to him. So I was not really looking for a guru or any Baba in my life. But seeing that kind of a tremendous change in Padmini was really amazing and amusing. So she was pestering me to do the course. And believe me, if you ask her, she'll tell me, how much this fellow troubled me. Yeah, she had to be behind me for almost 6 months to get me to do the course. That is the kind of thing. But then, yeah, I did the course, and then, at that time, I was a typical career-oriented person. I was in the sales and marketing field. So, a lot of tension and stresses in sales and marketing field. If you ask any sales and marketing person, they'll say yes. So I also had my share of tension, stresses. So when she pestered me, my wife said, "Why don't you do it? You are going through a lot of these tensions. So if this helps you, good, no?" So I said, "Yeah, makes sense. जिंदगी में बहुत कुछ आजमाए हैं, ఎంతో చేసాం, ఇది కూడా చేద్దాం, నచ్చితే మంచిది, లేదా డస్ట్బిన్ పక్కన ఉంది." That attitude I went, right? Then course chala బాగుండింది. I really enjoyed the course. And my first experience of Sudarshan Kriya, honestly speaking, even till date, my experience of Sudarshan Kriya is that it just calmed my mind. I could feel that serenity inside, right? I didn't have any out of the blue experience. That was the out of the blue experience for me, to feel that serenity inside, deep within me. Whereas there were other participants who said, I saw violet color light, I saw golden color light, I saw Devi. Somebody said, I saw Guruji walking like this when doing Kriya. No, nothing of that sort happened to me. So, when you listen to all these kinds of experience, somewhere in the mind that doubt comes, oh, did I do it right or not? But then I said, look, Jobi, this is the experience, that's it. And even then, not even once I thought, okay, I'll be going ahead and becoming Art of Living teacher and things like that. And after that, Padmini kept behind me. She was behind me to come for advanced course. She would keep sending me message of, there is a semi-advanced course happening here, there is another advanced course happening there. I would ignore it. For 8 months, I avoided her. Then she cornered me one day. She said, nothing doing, you have to come for advanced course. If money is your problem, I'll pay for you. I said, look, you take the money, but leave me. Nothing doing, you have to come. So that is how we went to Bangalore. And those days, in fact, even in Bangalore ashram, that was the biggest course, advanced course that happened, which had about 70 people, of which 36 were from Hyderabad. We went one bus load from here. So we got royal welcome there in the ashram. ఆశ్రమంలో బాగా మంచి రాయల్ వెల్కమ్ దొరికింది. And it was nice. The place looked very serene and beautiful. It was very rocky, hilly terrain. It wasn't beautifully done and green. and beautifully laid out ashram that you get to see now. That was really, really the ashram feel because it was raw terrain, raw terrain and rocky, but it was nice. And then the advanced course started, and day one was not very interesting for me. And I was cursing myself, why did I come here? And then in the evening, Padmini said, come, let us go to Guruji's kutir. If we are lucky, we may get to see him. And as we were walking towards Gurudev's kutir, on the left side in an open area, there was a small group having masti. And the center of that group was a very, serene and beautiful looking person with flowing hair and long beard and flowy white robes. And that is Guruji. So we all ran there towards him, and he turned around, looked at me in the eyes, and he asked, "Haan, kahan se ho aap log sab?" And I said, "Hyderabad." And the next thing he did was he told me, "You must become art of living teacher." So I was a thorough salesperson. You give me a donkey, I'll find another donkey to buy it. But teaching was definitely not my cup of tea because I didn't have the patience then with me. But master is a master, right? He knows. Kali, there was a connectedness. There was a connectedness that happened. And he drew me like a magnet. And then after that, we had satsang in those days, the old ashram, if you know, for those who have been to ashram, the old ashram side, the Sumeru Mandap is there. That is where we used to have the satsang. And then you see the Mahalakshmi Mandap, that was the old meditation hall. In fact, now it is beautifully done up with all that marble flooring and all. But those days, the flooring was basically sandpaper, covered with dharis. It used to be very comfortable to sit and to sit in Vajrasan, sit and meditate and all that. Yeah? So, evening satsang was in Sumeru Mandap, we went there. So, bhajans were not anything new to me because, as I said, my spiritual upbringing has always been there. But then, we were generally having fun. And like these days, in the advanced course, you listen to those videos, the 4 pillars of knowledge. Those days, there was no video and all. It used to be live. Guruji used to talk and we would sit and listen to Gurudev talking. Right? So the 4 pillars of knowledge, he used to talk. And that was when many of the recordings also took place, which later on was given as video, was shown as video and all. Yeah. So that is how my art of living journey started. Yes.
This is fantastic. It is already giving me goosebumps. So I found out, in the earlier conversation that your temperament was very high and you were already a chief executive officer of a large corporation, and you have also worked with Johnson & Johnson and other MNCs in Hyderabad. And I think in the year 1996, when you took your first program, you shared that everything happened, but you felt that peace of mind, that calmness. So from a person who gets anger at the drop of a hat, to becoming serene, cool, calm, how did you take that? Isn't it like a shock? Like, come on, just one Sudarshan Kriya, one workshop of 4, 5 days, 6 days, and you are completely a U-turn person.
It amazed me. It amazed me more than me. It amazed people around me. They were like surprised. What has happened to this person? I mean, normally in these kind of situations, he would blow his mind, but he's so cool. He's smiling, and he's correcting us very patiently. So that change was there, and it was amazing to me. But more than me, it was amazing to people around me.
Wow. So suddenly there would have been a atmosphere of joy and celebration and happiness in your family, especially with your spouse, that my husband doesn't get angry anymore. Yeah, and your employees might be like,
doesn't
oh my
happen
God, what has
overnight.
happened to my boss?
No, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes little time to practice all that. Yeah.
So
But
after
definitely, yes, there was a shift happening. There was a shift happening, and due to more regular practice and things like that. But the change was more perceptible after my first advanced course.
wow, wow. So, you also mentioned that you went in a bus. That was probably the first bus from Andhra Pradesh which went to Bangalore ashram, and which had
Not just this, from anywhere in the country. That was the first ever time a busload of people had gone there from one city or one place for a program, and so we got a real royal welcome there by the ashram team then.
So Rajgopalji, I have a question here. You are so highly qualified. You are working for a large corporation. You were married. You had house responsibilities. You know, and people, generally what we notice is people who are very intellectually high. They tend to doubt, or they tend to resist. Correct. But in spite of resistance, I think you came at a point where you said, okay, let me give it a shot. So, how did you overcome your intellect? Because this is a very important step for a lot of us to decide to take such a workshop.
True. See, as I said, no, somewhere that spiritual upbringing would have definitely worked in the background. Yeah, somewhere, okay, there are so many things we are doing. Let us give this also a shot. If it is good, it stays. If it is not good, anyway, I move on. That kind, right?
Correct.
So honestly, I was not looking for any spiritual programs either. But when it came my way, I just took it somehow. Because as I said, no, my wife is the one who pushed me. She said, anyway, you're going through a lot of tension and stresses in your job front. So why don't you do it if it helps you good? And in fact, particular time, it had started affecting my health a little also. I mean, like I had developed this streptococcal infection, and that had affected my left knee. So I had this arthritic kind of swelling on the left knee. So doctor had, prohibited me from going around in two-wheeler. So I had to upgrade myself to four-wheeler, and he prohibited me from squatting like this. So I had to purchase sit on chair, dangling my legs down like that. So that like bending of the knee, especially the hairpin bend of the leg, uh, was a no, strictly a no. But then when I did the course, I said, okay, let me sit in Vajrasan. Doesn't matter. Even if I have to die in Vajrasan, it's okay. I'll do that. I mean, like, basically a very gutsy person. So that is how, I mean, I said, I sat in Vajrasan. Initially, it hurt a little. After that, it settled on its own and I was able to do it. And after that, it has not really affected me.
So you mean that one Sudarshan Kriya, the Vajrasan, which you sat in, it helped you heal completely.
I wouldn't say helped me heal completely, but it definitely helped me, overcome that doubts, fears, everything, and it made me realize that okay, the problem is not there as such, and after that, it did not really affect me. It did not really affect me, and over a period of time, because of medication, also the streptococcal infection tapered down.
Wow, wow, this is amazing. The combination of medication and meditation uh,
Yes.
completely brought you out. Wow, this is really nice. Thank you so much for this sharing. Yeah. So,
So yeah.
so from there, again, Padmini Unni Amma persisted, and then you went for an advanced course. And then what happened? How was the advanced course like? I mean, a person like you who mentioned just now that you can't keep calm and you need to do something all the time. So getting into silence must be a huge challenge, isn't it?
Uh, yeah, it was a challenge, but it was amazing. It was really amazing, keeping that silence. And I mean, like I said, okay, having come here, I'm determined to go through it. So the silence was really wonderful, and meditations were really amazing. I mean, like um, I somewhere in between, I would simply blow off, and I would like not even know where I am. And suddenly I would hear Sasangoham. In fact, I still remember way back in 98 once, I was in the ashram and Gurudev came there. He said, let's meditate. And he made us do the Hari Om meditation. I remember chanting the first Hari Om. After that, I only remember Gurudev's instruction, slowly and gradually you may open the eyes. In between those two, what happened, I don't know. Yeah.
And I know that, Hari Om, those days, Gurudev would lead it for over an hour easily, and you would not realize 1 hour has passed by.
Yeah. Because each chakra he would make us, relax for at least 5 minutes. So,
Wow.
so suffice and 35 and the other instructions, everything you can say easily about 45 to 50 minutes.
So, 97 first advanced course to 2020 leading meditation programs, leading advanced course programs yourself. This such a huge shift in these many years. Now how do
It's a
you
big
see yourself
journey.
on the other side leading meditations?
It's a big journey. It's a big journey, right? See, it's a long journey as well, and it's a very beautiful journey. So, no, it definitely is. Now, I mean, this is the only thing that I do. Either I'm meditating or I'm teaching people to meditate, right? My life is sadhana, seva, satsang. Smile. Yes.
But again, Rajgopalji, you were very young. You had family, you had children, who were still growing up very young. Your family needed support, and then you dropped everything for the sake of humanity, spirituality, for the society. So, what moved you from inside that you took up this step, this extreme step?
Well, see, it is like this. When I after my first advanced course, as I said, at that time the connectedness got established, and after that the Guru had taken over my life. My life was no longer in my control. The Guruji decided when I would come for the next advanced course. Guruji decided, see, like I think this was October 97 or something when I went for the first advanced course. And even then, during that time in the advanced course itself, the Guruji, when he would meet us in the group, right? So when we went in, first person he called was me, and he gave me a nice hug. And moment he hugged me, tears started flowing down my eyes, right? For no reason, right? Intellect was saying, "Arey, what happened? Kyun ro raha hai?" But tears are flowing. And then he asked, "You will come again in December for advanced course, no?" So just like a small child nods the head when the mother asks, "Karega na? Tu acha bachcha hai na?" So child nods, no, like that. I was nodding my head. Yeah. And then went back, and in the afternoon there was a process happening, doll making process happening. Everyone else was doing that. I was just sitting and crying. But a lot of cleansing happened, and for no reason. But a lot of tears came, and I was crying like anything. And I tell you, after that, Guruji had simply taken over my life. So in November, he was coming to Hyderabad. So though there was an advanced course happening in the ashram in November, he didn't say, you will come in November? No. He asked me to come in December. Because November, when he came here, he knew I had to be here to be part of the organizing team and things like that. So we had organized satsang for Guruji. And at that time, there were quite a few miracles that happened in my life. So at that point in time, I had a check bouncing case against one of the clients who had bounced the check twice, right? And it was pending in the court, and that was quite substantial money. And the day Guruji came, the next day to that, I had this hearing. So in the morning, I had gone there to have Gurudev's darshan. I thought before that, if I have his darshan, take his blessings, it will be good. My lawyer had strictly told me you should be there in the court by 10 o'clock. Right? I went to the place where Gurudev, we had put up Gurudev. By 8:30, I had gone there. 1 hour was sitting there, but Gurudev, there was no sign of coming out. Finally, he came out at 9:15 and he gave darshan. There were a few bhajans going on. And then finally, at about 9:30, 9:35, I could no longer sit there. So I just got up and Guruji looked at me and he asked, what? Then I went closer to him. I told him, Guruji, I have a court hearing for which my lawyer has said I should be there by 10 sharp. It's already 9:35 and this was in road number 4, Banjara Hills. And that is Secunderabad court. Even in those days, it would easily take about 40 minutes to travel from here to there. But when I took his blessings and came out, there was only one prayer in my mind. Guruji, I must be there sharp by 10. Guruji, I must be there sharp by 10. And I had that Maruti 800, small car. Yeah. But I drove around. Sharp 10, I was there in the Secunderabad court. Now, yeah. So you can imagine, 9:35, 9:40, 20 minutes flat, I was there. And I parked my car, got out and entered the gate. My lawyer was coming on the opposite side. He was grinning away to glory. I said, look, sharp 10, I'm here. He laughed and he said, that is not necessary because the judge had some other cases coming up. So he himself postponed the date of hearing. So then he said it is sometime in December. So I was relieved. And that day, Guruji was giving a talk in Osmania Medical College. Now, where is Secunderabad Court and where is Osmania Medical College? That talk was at 11. Now, from Secunderabad to Osmania Medical College, the travel itself would take about 1 hour easily. Yeah. And I said, okay, now I can go for the talk. And this man said, okay, where are you going? I said, I'm going towards Koti, sir. He said, oh, then you can drop me on the way. But I said, he stays in Chikatpalli, so the detour. I said, oh my God, I am going to miss the talk. So, but anyway, I said, please get in. And prayer in my mind was constantly, Guruji, I must be seated there before you start your talk. This was the prayer in my mind. What was the prayer? I must be seated there before you start your talk. And this man, by the time I reached Tangband, he said, why don't you do one thing, no? Just drop me here. I'll take an auto from here. Why do you have to take a detour and come unnecessarily waste of your time? You drop me here. I said, are you sure, sir? Politely asked. He said, yeah, drop me here. I said, fine. Then I pulled to the curb. He got off and I said, oh, great. And I went straight. But this prayer kept happening. Guruji, I must be seated there before you start the talk. I parked my car in the Osmania Medical College, got into the auditorium. I sat down and Gurudev started talking. Yeah. So, Guruji listens to your prayers. This was the experience he gave. And there was another case of another client who owed me some 5 lakhs then. Yeah. And for 8 months he had not paid. So my prayer to Guruji was, Guruji, this is terrible, and you won't believe, that man also called me out of the blue and he cleared my dues. There were so many other vendors who had their dues and they were like raging. But this man called me and cleared my dues. Purely Guru Kripa. So that way. So the December again, I had this doubt. I hope the date which the judge gives doesn't clash with my next December advance course thing. And Guruji managed the whole thing. It was 10 days before I had to leave. That got over, and those fellows came for out of court settlement. They settled it. Yeah. So look how Guruji takes care of everything. Then when I went for the second advance course, normally, let's say, you see somebody after a month or two, and the moment you say you have come to my place, Are kab aaya? I would ask, right? When did you come? I reached there, Guruji see me, when should you go? Yeah, I was taken aback a little. I said, Guruji, next day to the advanced course completion, I've reserved my return ticket. I said, but if you want me to stay here, then I'll cancel that. He said, ha, stay here till I tell you. So I canceled and I stayed there. And, so I anyway didn't have anything much to do. And so most of the time we would hang around in Gurudev's kutir, we would do a lot of masti he would do. And out of that masti, beautiful knowledge will come out sometimes. Not sometimes, but more often. More often than not, most of the knowledge sheet which you read, no, intimate note to sincere seeker, all of us read, right? Most of the knowledge sheet would come like this. He would be doing masti and we would be like, asking some questions or making some this thing. Out of that, he would say knowledge and he would say, Arre wah, ye to acha knowledge nikal gaya. Knowledge sheet banate hain iska, and that is how knowledge. So even some highest knowledge also, Gurudev just gives playfully like that. He brings it out playfully, gives it very playfully also. Yeah, and in fact, in those days, every Thursday we used to wait for this fact sheet, which would carry this knowledge sheet, which we used to read out in satsang, in the follow-ups and all. Yeah. So it's a lot of masti there. So those days, Thursdays, in the evening, Guruji used to go to Gyan Mandir, which is the city center, which is the address you see in most of this thing, 19th A Cross, Jayanagar, T block, 4th T block, that thing. So, in fact, that is where Guruji started the Art of Living. That was the first center and place for Art of Living. And then he built the ashram and moved there.
So I remember that Rajgopal ji, you were saying that Gurudev was for you as a sakha. You had that sakha
Yeah.
for him, and he was more like a friend. Can you put a little more light on that? What is the idea about sakha bhav?
Yeah. Like, see, Guru, Mata, Pita, Bandhu, Sakha, no? Guru is like the mother, father, his relative, and a friend. So those days, because see, like we're fortunate that way. I mean, like in those days, there wasn't much crowd with Gurudev, and so those were the initial days. So we could get a lot of time with him. So he also would do a lot of pranks with us. He would be very playful and all. Like I don't know how many of you know Vinodji. So Vinodji would, there was once Vinodji was in the kutir, Shakti kutir, Guruji's kutir, and he wanted to hug Guruji. And Guruji would keep me in between him and Vinodji, and he was hiding behind me. So Vinodji would try to come from this side, he would turn me like this, Guruji would hide behind me. So every time he tries to hug, he would end up hugging me, not Guruji. And Guruji would laugh. He would say, what are you up to? Why are you hugging him? So these kind of mastis he used to do. So we used to like, he used to play with us. And once he said, I went into the kutir, he looked at me, he said, oh, Rajgopal, you're the most beautiful smile on earth. Gave a pass. And then he said, next only to mine. So I said, yes, Guruji, I totally agree with you. So these kinds of like masti also he used to do. It's not always seriousness and knowledge, no. In fact, with Guruji, there is never seriousness. Even knowledge, he gives it so playfully, and that is why the knowledge sinks in. Yeah. Brahma Gyan ko bhi itna, enta teligga istarante, it would sink in like easily. So that is the thing. So in those days, as I said, he used to go to Gyan Mandir for satsang on Thursday evening. So I still remember it was a Thursday evening. I didn't realize it was Thursday. So I went to Shakti Kutir and found it locked, and my heart sank. Oh my God, Gurudev didn't even tell me, and he has left. He's gone away or something. Then it struck me, oh, it is Thursday. He would have gone there for satsang. So I was just coming back down between the admin block and Shanmukha Hall. Yeah, there's a steps down. So like I was getting down and I got strong vibhuti smell. I looked around, I didn't find any shivling, I didn't find any vibhuti packet or vibhuti sprayed around anywhere. Where am I getting this strong vibhuti smell? I looked around, nowhere I could find any this thing of that strong vibhuti smell. I just shrugged and came down, and a couple of devotees who had come from South Africa, they said, hey, come, let's go to Bangalore city where Guruji has gone for satsang. And all three of us got into an auto. I have never been to Gyan Mandir before that. These people coming from South Africa, they also don't know. But we got into an auto and we went. And believe me, we went straight there to Gyan Mandir. So now you know who took us there. But when we went in, the last bhajan, Jai Jai Radha Ramanari was going. And you won't believe, those days, I mean, like hardly 25, 30 people are sitting there in satsang with Guruji. So that day was Pitaji's birthday and they were cutting cake, and he suddenly saw us and he said, when did you guys come? And he called us again, you know, gave me a hug, made me sit near his feet. And while going back, we came in Gurudev's car, we went back. Again, the same steps, while we were climbing up the steps, again that strong vibhuti smell came. And then I asked Guruji, while coming also, I could get this strong vibhuti smell. Now also I'm getting, from where is this coming? I don't see any shivling or any vibhuti packet lying around or anything. He looked at me mischievously and he said, what other smell you want? I said, no, Guruji, this vibhuti smell I got, so I'm getting now also. So I just wanted to know. He looked at me mischievously, blinked, and he said, tell me, go ahead, what other smell you want? And so then I said, sandal smell. He took a lock of hair, like from here, lifted it up, and I could get sandal smell. And then he asked, what other smell you want? And I said, rose. He lifted another lock of hair from here, and I could get rose smell. And again, he mischievously blinked his eyes and, what other smell? I said, no, Guruji, no. He said, no, go ahead. Then I said, jasmine. And he did his hand like this, and I could get strong jasmine smell from his hand. So that was the first time he gave me experience of his ability to manifest fragrance at his will. That only a divine ability, if you have, you can do it, right? So that was the first time he gave me an experience of his innate divine quality and abilities. Like this, several small. Yeah.
We don't want you to stop, Rajgopalji. Please continue with sharing these small stories. These are so amazing. They are, stirring our soul and satisfying, from the depths of our consciousness. Please continue.
So during that same time, in fact, once after satsang, there were 5 of us who ran behind Gurudev towards his kutir. And he stood on the door. I was the only one who had not yet become teacher. The other 4 were already teachers. He stood at the doorway and he was not, everyone was trying to get into the kutir, but he stood there and he was not allowing anyone to get into the kutir. He was talking to them and I mean, countering their this thing, stopping them from somehow or other entering. Then he looked at me, he said, अच्छा अंदर देखो वो नारद भक्ति सूत्रा का कमेंट्री लिखा हुआ वो पेपर उधर है क्या देखो, and he let me in. And everyone else, he somehow, I mean, like gave them some task, some seva, and he sent them off. Then he closed the door. And I said, Guruji, I can't find that paper here. He said, usko chodo. Then, he sat down in his chair, took an envelope he gave me. He said, acha, ye padho, read this letter. I took it out. It looked like English alphabet, but I was unable to read. It was not English. So when I looked at the cover, it was Poland. I said, Guruji, this doesn't seem to be English. This looks like Polish. So he said, oh, acha. Bahar wo Kinga hai kya dekho, he said. Kinga was a lady devotee who had come then from Poland, who was there in the ashram. I opened the door. I said, Bahar to koi bhi nahi hai, Guruji. He said, it's okay, then you give it to me. And what he did was he just took that sheet of paper and he just scanned it with his hand like this. He said, "Acha, pad liya." And he told me, "Acha, isko ye reply bhejna hai bolo." So I made a note of it in that. Right. And like that, that was once again one more incident where he gave the ability of gave me an experience of his divine abilities. This happened once again, when I was in his kutir sorting out mails. So, like myself and Vikram Hazra ji, I'm sure many of you know him, Vikram Bhaiya, he sings. Yeah. So we both were sitting and sorting out the mail, and Guruji was sitting in his cot and poring over something else. So those days the postcards used to come, right? So there was a postcard and it looked like Bengali. And I know Vikram is Bengali, so I asked him, "Vikram, can you read Bengali?" He said, "Yeah." So I said, "Then you should read this." So he took it, he looked around, he said, "No, this doesn't look like Bengali. Perhaps it is Odia." And suddenly Guruji looked up, he said, "Wado is it?" And he took it again and he scanned it. And he said, "Acha, usko ye reply de do." Yeah. That was the second time. Then, yes. So, and so sometimes in the night, also we would sit and sort out the mails and things like that. And then, several times it would be 1:30. And then Gurudev would lie down to, so then उनका पैर वगैरह दबा के, then I would say, "Okay, ठीक है Guruji, we'll leave." So it used to become like that. So once it so happened that 2 बज गए, it become too late. So he said, "तो अभी उतना दूर," and my accommodation was in Kashyap. He asked me, "कहाँ दिए तेरे को accommodation?" I said, "Kashyapa." And he said, "उतना दूर कहाँ जाएगा? तू यहीं बाहर हॉल में सो जा, सवेरे चले जाना." So 2 o'clock, he sleeps. After that, I come and sleep there. And 5 o'clock, suddenly I sat up because Gurudev opened the door and he was looking fresh like a lily. And I was like looking very groggy. I said, "Hey Gurudev, Guruji." So, "Did you sleep well?" "Yeah, Guruji." I slept only for 3 hours and he said, "Did you sleep well?" And he was looking fresh like a lily. He said, "Ready to go for morning walk." Yeah. I asked him, "Guruji, what time did you wake up?" He said, 4 o'clock. So it means he has slept only for 2 hours. 4 o'clock he woke up. I said, "Why? You slept only at 2. You know what he said? He said, "हाँ, क्या करें, देवता लोग और ऋषि लोग दर्शन के लिए आते हैं, so I have to be up and ready." Yeah. So
Oh my God,
that is an
goosebumps.
we have the Lord of the universe here as our Guru. All the devatas and rishis come there for his morning darshan. Yeah. So the only time really Guruji rests is when he meditates during satsang. That is when he has. So Guruji, even then when the crowd was not much also, he would personally go through all the mails, look into all the mails, give response and things like that. Now with this whole 162 countries now, in fact, he is all the time, his body may be in a sleeping posture here, but his consciousness is working there in all those countries, those part of the world where it is day. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah. See, we as individuals are not capable of handling the problem of, many people, even in our own city, leave alone the whole world. But here is a person who is taking care of problems of people across the globe. So when we sleep, we are lost to the rest of the world. And he is resting, his body is resting here, but his consciousness is still in the other part of the world, taking care of people and their problems, needs. See this? Only a divine can do that. I don't think anybody else can do it. what do you call such a person? I don't know. I mean, like, the only word I can think of is the living God. Yeah.
Very true, very true.
Yes. So, go ahead.
So, so how did you plan to quit your job, and then you went ahead and became a full-time teacher, and after becoming a full-time teacher, you started traveling also. So, what
Good
is that
question.
experience like?
Good question. First of all, I did not plan. It was Guruji who planned. So December when I went there, after that advanced course, when I stayed back, he said, "हाँ तू TTC के लिए आ जा फिर." So again, I went there towards the end of December to for my TTC, and then you know I did the phase one, and then I went in February for Shivratri to Bangalore ashram, and he said, "हाँ चल उधर आ जा ऋषिकेश में वहाँ TTC के लिए." So I went from there to Rishikesh. I did the TTC there, and just 3 days before the TTC was about to complete, Prashant Rajore came running to me. He said, "Rajgopal, तुमने फॉर्म भरा क्या?" I said, "क्या फॉर्म?" He said, "TTC फॉर्म." I said, "नहीं, मुझे कोई किसी ने फॉर्म नहीं दिया, मैंने नहीं भरा." He said, "कोई फॉर्म भरना है क्या? ला मैं भरता हूँ." He said, नहीं कोई बात नहीं, मैं लेके आ जाऊंगा, बाद में साइन कर देना. And so that is how it happened. So it was totally because he asked me to sit. I was there. I attended the TTC, and it was his decision. He never asked me, "Or do you want to be full time, part time?" No. Moment he made me a teacher, he blessed me. He said, "You become full time traveling teacher." And once Guru says, that's it. So I just came and told my wife he has asked me to be full time teacher. So within 1 month, I wound up all my work and started traveling to conduct the courses. That's it. That's how. So it was his choice. It was not even my plan. you know. That is the difference. See, if Guru decides that you should be a full-time teacher, then he is taking care of you every moment. He is taking care of your family. He is taking care of your needs, everything.
Yeah.
His grace moves the life. But there are people who out of that Joe should go and tell him, "Guruji, I want to be full-time teacher." Now, from Guruji's mouth, you can never hear a no.
Right.
Only say, "Ha, ha, ha, ha." So then these people would say, "Oh, Guruji blessed me to become full-time teacher." They would come, and those people, they cannot stand. Few months, they will quit and they will go back, take up a job.
There is a question here, Rajgopal ji, that how different is your experience being from the Satya Sai Baba and Sai Baba background of your parents, in your childhood days, and you meeting Gurudev. Do you think Gurudev has taken an avatar, or is Sai Baba Gurudev's avatar, or what is it like? Is Gurudev Sai Baba's avatar?
No, no, no. Both are different avatars, but uh, see, my experience, as I said, with Baba, I didn't have much experience. It was purely a blind belief because my parents were following it. So we have virtually grown up with my parents pointing to him that he is avatar, he is Bhagwan. Yeah, but personally, I have not had any experience with him. Okay, I mean, like I have witnessed him performing those miracles and things like that, like bringing out vibhuti, bringing out stuffs and all. But okay, that amazed me and all right. And as a child, it amazed me. But somehow, I mean, like once the intellect matures, the intellect is not able to apprehend that divine ability to bring out things and things like that, manifest things. So then, I mean, somehow I drifted. But here it was not miracles and things like that which attracted me. The knowledge, the love and compassion of the master, the knowledge. This is what really pulled me to him. And these small things, miracles, and all those things. These are just small ways of the Guru to let us have an experience, a glimpse of his knowingness, of his divine nature, of his divine manifestation. Yeah, those are, I mean, like, these are not basically aimed at uh, drawing you to him. These are just a small glimpse that is, but what is drawing us to him is his love, his compassion, his unconditional love, you know, and his compassion and the knowledge, the wisdom, and the lightness with which, you know, that beautiful blend of humor and wisdom, which draws us to him. See this? You know, why do people want to go and keep sitting in his satsang? Because of that beautiful blend of humor and wisdom, right? Even listening to him for 1 hour, 1.5 hours also doesn't feel that you have listened to him for 1.5 hours. It just feels, array, it's just 5 minutes and you are saying Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari. Haven't you experienced it? Yeah, see this?
So, Rajgopalji, today morning when we were talking, you were sharing that, you were in Kerala teaching courses, and then, you were invited, you were called to conduct a course, the first YLTP program, which was then called as YTP program, and then you came back. What happened? Can you please share that event?
Yeah, so actually, I mean, like, then maybe about 4 months or so, I would have taught here in Andhra. I had gone there to ashram once, and Gurudev said, you know Tamil, no? So go to Tamil Nadu and teach. And, you know, I used to travel around in Tamil Nadu and teach. So while I was traveling around, Tamil Nadu has a border with Kerala, no? Nagarkovil is closer to Trivandrum. So in Nagarkovil, when I was teaching, there was also another teacher from Kerala who had come there to conduct a Malayalam course there. And I knew him quite well, and he was so happy to see. He said, then he organized a few courses for me in Kerala also, and he dragged me there. So I was traveling around there also and conducting the courses. So Kerala, the thing is, Kerala in those days, the beauty is one course, first course you announce in one place, there will be some 30 people, 40 people coming. Next course, these 40 people will bring, each one of them will bring at least 2 to, you'll have 80 people, like that. You know? So the very second course, I had something like 100 odd people there. The courses were pretty huge also, so that was also very inspiring. And so the going was great. Then suddenly Prashant Rajare called me. He said, Rajgopal, Guruji has asked you to come to the ashram. So I told him, okay, I have scheduled a course for this thing next week. Can I complete that and come? He said, no, you can hand over that course to somebody and come. So I called up this person who organized the course for me. He himself was a teacher. I said, look, Guruji has asked me to come to the ashram, so can you please take over this course? And poor fellow had no other option, but he took over. And I went to ashram, and you know, Guruji had already left ashram. He had just left 4-line instructions for us to conduct this youth training program. Just 4 lines instructions, that's all. With that, those 4 lines was a manual with which we conducted the course for 3 months till Guruji came back. And how it flowed so beautifully those 3 months, we were at least 8 to 10 teachers taking sessions at different times, you know, to sing. And then when Guruji came, he would tell us, okay, हाँ क्या हुआ? Okay, abhi ye karo, and he guided and got concluded. 350 youths from all across India plus Nepal. They came, stayed there, and many of them were study pars. Huh? You know what? You understand what is study par, right?
Yes, study par, yes. Oh my God, study par.
History cheaters who were banished from their place. Yeah. So they come there, 3 months, and what a transformation. You could witness the transformation in YLTP in those fellows. Yes. So that is how, in fact, that was the first YTP. It was called Youth Training Program then. And many of them have gone ahead and become art of living teachers. Today they are wonderful art of living teachers, yes. And then many of the Yuvacharyas, we call them Yuvacharyas, they become Yuvacharyas. They went and traveled around the villages and they connected with the village people and brought them to this path. In fact, I don't know how many of you know Sanjay Bihari ji is one of our teachers who's been working in the Kashmir area, right? He is one of those youth who did the first YTP.
Oh, wow. That's a revelation.
Yeah, after that he went to Bihar. He was supposed to, instead of going to his place, at one particular station, something told him, I must get down here. He got down, and it was dark. It was beyond sunset, and the nearest village was at least some 2-3 kilometers from that station. And there were no modes of transportation, so he had to walk. And that place was Naxalite infested area. Right? So even when he was walking, few people encountered him and asked him, "Kahan ja rahe ho? Kahan se aa rahe ho? Who are you?" and all. And then he said, "I've come from Bangalore ashram." Nazdik gaon kahan hai? And they said 2 kilometers. And he walked, went there, and he conducted Navchetna Shivir. The fellows got transformed, and he brought 2 warring groups. Those days, the Ranbir Sena and People's War Group, 2 warring groups were there. He tricked them into coming to Rishikesh to meet Guruji at the same time through different modes of transportation and things like that. Because those fellows will never come face to face. If they came face to face, it was only gun, shoot, that way. So he brought both of them there, and they came face to face in front of Gurudev. After doing the course, their minds are all quietened down. What a transformation! After that, they dropped the weapons and they pledged to work for spreading peace in the society there. Amazing work. So a lot of youths like that who got transformed through that YTP.
This really makes me ask this question. This question also is from the audience. That is there any specific person, without telling the name, of course, you remember the story which is of transformation from the Naxal belt, or from that kind of a belt?
Yeah. Yeah. One course which we had conducted an orientation for de-addiction program. The first ever orientation for de-addiction program. There were quite a few teachers from all over India. We had about 100 teachers who had come for that. This was in Bangalore ashram. There was one gentleman who was a drug peddler, and who was in jail for several years, maybe about 15, 16 years, and then he did the prison course, got transformed, and he did advanced course in the prison. And then after coming out, he continued on the path and had become teacher. Yeah. So similarly, quite a lot of this thing, where prison course in Tihar jail, a lot of courses have happened, and that is where some of the noted terrorists also were there. And after doing the course, those fellows also got so transformed that they gave up terror after that. So a lot of such things, it has definitely happened. A lot of places where through this knowledge, Naxalites, terrorists have been transformed and they have been rehabilitated into the normal society. And many of them are there who come to the ashram and whom we interact with, but you won't know that these people that they have this kind of background, and it's not necessary.
Wow. Yes, yes. So we would continue the part two with Rajgopal ji next week, and right now maybe few people, if you have any questions, anything you would like to share or ask Rajgopal ji, would like to open this forum. You can raise your hand and we can unmute you and you can share or ask any questions to Rajgopal ji. Yeah, we have Usha Rani ji asking something in a on the chat. Usha Rani ji, would you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, or you want to put it in the chat box?
Sir, Jai Gurudev.
Yes, go ahead.
एक्चुअली मैंने भी VTP किया है, बट एवरी टाइम क्रिया वगैरह होते हैं, हाँ हम मैं सेल्फ सेंटर हो गई, या फिर कुछ डिस्टर्बेंस होता है, फिर अगेन आई डिस्टर्ब, फिर से अपने आप को फिर से ऑर्गेनाइज करके फिर सेल्फ सेंटर करना पड़ता है. अगर ऐसे ही करते रहूं तो लाइफ तो इसी में निकल जाएगा. फिर मेरा मन है कि मैं गुरुजी की सेवा में कुछ तो करूं टीचर बन के. ऐसा आप भी तो जब टीचर बनने के प्रोसेस में थे तब आपको भी ऐसा हुआ होगा. तब आप अपने आप को कैसे सेल्फ सेंटर करते थे?
हाँ देखो, मेरी तरफ से मैं पूरी तरह से प्रयास करता था कि ज्ञान के आचरण में रहूं, ज्ञान को आचरण में रखूं. राइट? कोई बुरा भला कहा तो कौन सा ज्ञान लाता? डोंट बी अ फुटबॉल ऑफ अदर पीपल्स ओपिनियन. राइट? एक्सेप्ट पीपल एज दे आर. तो ये हर इसमें ज्ञान को पहले, ठीक है, और दैट वाज एक दूसरे ज्ञान को आचरण में लाना. दूसरा मेरे को ड्राइविंग फोर्स वाज, अगर गुरुजी मेरे जगह रहते वो कैसे हैंडल करते इस सिचुएशन को. सो आई वुड पुट माई सेल्फ इन गुरुजी शूज एंड थिंक, अगर गुरुजी होते तो इस सिचुएशन को कैसे हैंडल करते. एंड दैट वुड गिव मी दैट विजन एंड दैट वुड गिव मी दैट क्लैरिटी. ठीक है. और तीसरा ज्ञान, गुरुजी ने जो एक ज्ञान, ब्यूटीफुल ज्ञान दिया कि गुरुमंडल में जो है 4 तरह के लोग आपको मिलेंगे इस पद पे. कुछ अच्छे, कुछ सच्चे, कुछ कच्चे, कुछ लुच्छे. इनमें से किसी के साथ भी अगर आप फंस गए तो आप गुरु से चूक गए. समझ में आ रही बात? The whole game is to move through these people without getting attached to any of them and reach the Guru. Yeah? So, देखो किसी अच्छे व्यक्ति को देखे, oh he is such a wonderful person, इतने अच्छे इंसान हैं, और आपका ध्यान किस तरफ चला गया? उस अच्छे के साथ चला गया, मगर आपका ध्यान गुरु से तो भटक गया. समझ में आएगा? कई बार क्या होता है, जो ज्ञान में अभी अभी कदम रखा है, तुम अपने परेशानी को लेके उस कच्चे को पकड़ के अपना परेशानी सुनाने लगते हो. वो खुद ही कच्चा है, वो तो गिरेगा, उसके साथ आप भी गिरोगे. समझ में आ रही बात? तो ये ज्ञान कि गुरु मंडल में जब है तो ये 4 रहेंगे ही. अच्छे भी रहेंगे, सच्चे भी रहेंगे, कच्चे भी रहेंगे, लुच्छे भी रहेंगे, मगर इन सब से परे जाकर गुरु के साथ रहना ही हमारा ध्येय है ना. इनमें से किसी के साथ भी अटक गए तो जीवन में ये तो होना ही है, रोना धोना ये सब होना ही है. राइट? निष्ठा बना के रखो, अपना साधना अपना वही बना के रखो कि हाँ गुरु का काम करना है, उसको प्राधान्यता दो, और देखो एवरीथिंग एल्स विल बी टेकन केयर ऑफ बाय द गुरु. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? See, when Guruji said you become full-time traveling teacher, I did not allow this thought to come in my mind. अरे I am young, wife is young, हमारा बच्चा जो है is just 6 years old, उसको पूरा जिंदगी सामने, उसको उसका परवरिश कैसे करूंगा, ये सब उसके बारे में मैंने सोचा ही नहीं. You know, I said, Guru is asking to be a full-time teacher. Then Guru is there to take care of me. So I just have to go and do what he wants me to do. What I did. Guru, Guru took. Today my son is also an art of living teacher. Right? For the last 5 years, he's also an art of living teacher. Wife is also an art of living teacher. So that clearly shows that Guru has taken us together on the path. He's carried us through this. So keep your focus on the knowledge, on the Guru. And you will find that, you know, everything else will simply fall in place. Yeah. But if you decide, if you say, okay, once all these things become perfect, then I'll go to the Guru, then I tell you, you can wait the whole lifetime, it will not happen. I'm sure you would have read this story it has gone viral in the WhatsApp groups also. Once Guruji was, you know, on the bank of Ganga River, and somebody asked, Guruji, aap kya kar rahe hain yahan? Guruji said, I'm waiting for the river to stop flowing so that I can cross. So he said, क्या बोल रहे हैं आप गुरुजी? नदी कब रुकेगा? आपको क्रॉस करना है तो आपने बस क्रॉस करना है. When will the river stop flowing? So he said, यही तो मैं लोगों को समझाने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कितने सालों से. अगर जीवन में सब कुछ सही हो जाए उसके बाद ये करूंगा तो वो तो होगा ही नहीं. It will not happen. You know? So this thing has to be, this is there, along with this should also be there. My problems in life will be there, but along with this, my focus on Guru, my sadhana, and my wanting to share this knowledge. So when our focus is on this, those things are taken care of. Yeah, see this? So don't worry about all these things. You be focused doing your sadhana, you know, grinding yourself in the knowledge, pulling your sattva up and going for TTP once the ashram opens up to it. Yeah.
This is really a nice statement, Rajgopalji. I think this is something which I will remember for a very, very long time. Grinding yourself in the knowledge and keeping your sattva up. That has to be the focus. Thank you so much for this wonderful session tonight.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. And we will see you very soon one more time. We want to hear the rest of the journey, how it unfolded for you, and what is it that, you know, keeps you continuing with same enthusiasm even after 23 years. So looking forward to meet you again sometime next week. And for all the people here, thank you so much for joining us. We are live on YouTube. You can watch this video again. You can share it with your near and dear ones. You can also subscribe to the channel and share your comments and feedback to us. You know, Rajgopalji is a very, very, very senior teacher from Andhra, and he's been, you know, he's been a person who has shaped up hundreds and hundreds and thousands of teachers who have come on this path. Many of them are here. So if you want any guidance, like Usha ji had seeked any guidance, feel free to connect with us, and we will be happy to connect you with Rajgopalji directly. So this Gnan-Utsavam series continues to inspire us, and we look forward for the amazing 10,000 people meditating together in the Telangana region, in fact, of all the challenges. The river is flowing and the work will happen with the inspiration of Rajgopalji and other mentors here. Thank you so much, everybody. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
Wonderful to be with all of you. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.